In this video we will check whether one of the largest and most expensive sets, the Titanic, can float on water. We will arrange a real wreck with an iceberg and show the romantic story of Rose and Jack from Lego. Let's begin! For our challenge we will need the Titanic itself, and fortunately Lego did everything for me and released a huge set, which now ranks third in terms of the number of parts, of which there are already 9,000. Only the world map and the Eiffel Tower are ahead of the Titanic. Even from the box of the set it is clear that this is a very expensive thing. In the main box, oddly enough, there are 3 more smaller boxes waiting for us, each of which is responsible for either the bow, middle or stern of the liner. Look how interesting it is, the drawings on these boxes form a whole ship and, if you unfold them, we will see the insides of the Titanic. Well, isn't it cool? Now you will be shocked, because these boxes contained as many as 46 bags, which I placed on top of each other on a huge table. There were 3 instructions waiting for me in white envelopes, and touching them, I realized that I was holding something valuable and exclusive: paper. Printing, just a mind blower. At the beginning we see photographs, pictures of the ship, and then there is assembly. And yes, the designers even made sure that during the assembly process you will see short reminders about what you are currently building and what it really looked like. And I can't wait to drown this colossus in my bathtub. So let's collect! As for the assembly, I will say that the stern and bow were very interesting to build, a lot of new techniques, details, I really enjoyed it, but there is a lot of monotony, especially in the center. You sit and spend several hours making these black portholes. A nightmare, and there are 140 of them here. And also black cables that were wrapped in adhesive tape. I almost broke several of them. I assembled the Titanic in 2 days, spending about 14 hours, and with each new section I could not stop admiring it and being slightly shocked by its size. And our Titanic Lego is simply gorgeous. This is a real work of art, not some kind of Death Star or even a Star Destroyer, which I have and can be compared to each other. Here all the edges are sharpened, beveled, there are a lot of smooth details and the model is so detailed that from afar it is not clear that this is a Lego set. What a pity that the camera does not convey this full scale, because our set is as much as 135 centimeters in length. How coolly all parts of the ship are depicted. The front deck with the captain's bridge, anchor chains, cranes for loading things and even passenger cars, all these memorable curves. They even added the so-called crow's nest to the front mast, from where the sailors spotted the iceberg. Along the length of the entire ship there are lifeboats on the decks, which, as in real life, are clearly not enough for all the passengers. The legendary yellow pipes are simply top-notch and, by the way, who didn't know, one of them did not work on the ship, it was only for ventilation. Then it was believed that the more pipes on the ship, the more solid it was.
Bruh.
Nice.
Special respect to the creators of the set for the stern of the ship, how they were able to twist and make all these curving lines. Just respect. Especially the area with the screws. It's funny that, looking at the ship as a whole, you can't believe how these screws could move such a colossus, because in reality the Titanic was almost 270 meters in length, although the screws are actually also powerful. The central one was 5.2 meters, and the outer ones were 7.2. And yes, in our set they can be rotated using a mechanism inside. To do this, we remove the fasteners from both sides and the ship is separated into 3 parts. Here we see the interior decks of the Titanic. In the stern these are pistons that begin to work if we turn the gears and the screws begin to rotate. In the bow there is a very cool design of the main staircase of the Titanic with a clock, although instead of a clock there is some kind of compass.
Okay.
We see rooms of the first, second and third classes, there is even a swimming pool. In a word, the set is 10 from 10, I put it on my computer desk and it looks great there. True, there is one question for the Lego company: why are there so few spare parts? What it is? Well, at least thanks for the 3 on hooks, that's not bad, and I put all 46 empty bags in a bag from a local store. Also, let's compare Titanic, just for fun, with other Lego sets. For example, the Death Star, ATTE, Castle, or with my latest mock Rust game. Now it's time to film the iconic scene with Rose and Jack, and then sink the Titanic in the bathtub. To do this, I stretched blue fabric over the TV box, it will represent the sky. We somehow placed the ship on the table and, believe me, it is very heavy, about 12 kilograms, the main thing is not to drop it. We create figures: Rose, Jack and 2 rich men, let one have coal mines, and the second a railway business. Now we're going to make one of the most romantic movie moments out of Lego.
Brick Fantasy Production presents the film Titanic. What a wonderful sea breeze.
Oh, Jack, that's wonderful.
Rose, iceberg.
Yeah, boy.
Now let's go to the bath to see if our Titanic will float. At the beginning, I tried to put jars from pecan brick so that the ship would stand on them, but I will tell you in advance that this will not work. Even if you fill them with water, they simply float up. In the meantime, we move and set up the ship. Turn on the water.
What's happened? Should I turn in there?
Wait, again?
Turn on the water. And the bath gradually begins to fill up. It is already clear that 2 cans of pecan brick on top of each other are too high. We will need to come up with something else. As a result, nothing worked out for us, and we decided to simply let the Titanic sail freely. And this Titanic, then, just falls on its side. Do whatever you want with it, however you want, but it doesn't stand upright. Therefore, let's repeat the events as 110 years ago. We will break the liner in half. After hitting the underwater part of the iceberg with its starboard side, several cracks appeared in the ship with a total length of 91 meters in 5 compartments. The Titanic could not withstand such damage. It began to tilt towards the bow and water began to overflow from compartment to compartment. Because the compartments were not blocked from above, due to the enormous pressure of the bow, it broke in two, and the stern, like a float, hovered briefly over the ocean until it filled with water, and also sank into the depths.
Oh no, Jack, we're finished.
Rose, everything will be fine. The main thing is to hold your breath when I'll tell you.
Mr. Smith, is this the end?
Yes, Tom, this is the end, so let's meet it with dignity. Rose, we must swim. Move! You see there is a raft. Get on there.
Okay, Jack. Only there seems to be place for only one.
Maybe I'll get in after all. There is enough space.
No, Jack, we'll drown.
Goodbye, Rose.
Whatever one may say, friends, the Lego Titanic does not sink even if it breaks in half, which means this is great news for shipbuilders. You just need to build ships from Lego. Brick Fantasy was with you and see you in new videos.